Welcome to the Ho Ho Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
We are broadcasting live from the Kata Studio, so welcome to the Ho Ho Show. And as always, I am your host, Ho Ho. So welcome, everybody. How y'all's doing? I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, good times, lots of food. Holy crap. Yeah. So, guys, we got a few things to get into today. Not really a whole heck of a lot. I'm probably not going to be doing a long show today. I've been busy. So, guys, we are going to start off with this story. And this is, when I read this, I had to laugh. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. I had to laugh. I had to laugh a lot. Because, y'all have heard the saying, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, apparently Kamala Harris hasn't exactly figured this out. This headline from Fox News: Kamala Harris slammed for tweet sucking up to small businesses after bailing out rioters. Yeah, I had to laugh on this one. Why? Because it's just funny. Here she is sucking up to small businesses. I feel your pain type of a thing. We're going to make things better. I really care about you. But right after she gets done bailing out the very people who destroyed their business in the first place, it's like law and order don't mean anything to them, just sucking up for the vote, And speaking of idiocracy, something that just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, this headline from CBS News. Now, this one, again, it made me laugh. It made me kind of chuckle because, well, it just made me kind of chuckle. When he leaves office, can ex-President Trump be trusted with America's national security secrets? It's like, really? This is a concern you have about, the president and what he's going to do after the White House. That's their concern. Here's what it amounts to, guys. All right. They know what the president knows. Think about it. This is why they went after, Michael Flynn in the first place. They knew his position, the security clearance that he would have, and his ability to kind of get in there and figure out what happened, find out what really happened, find out some things that went on behind the scenes. And they don't really like that, because if this information were to become public, then it would really make them look bad. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Do I think for an instant that he's just going to start, spewing information that's going to put people's lives in danger? No, absolutely not. And here's the thing, guys, too. Whenever it comes to, classified, things that are classified, things that are, put in there under with the operation security, whatever, those type of things. When it comes to that, see, it annoys me because it's like, okay, not all this stuff is stuff that is like operational secrecy. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that has been made classified, not because it's classified, not because it's a matter of national security, not because it protects the security of our nation, not because it protects our secrets, but because it protects somebody's butt. Let's just be honest. That's what a lot of that stuff has ended up doing. But, if you guys think about it, what was the reason? And hello over there in Twitter land, how you doing? And hello, Howard, over there in Facebook land. I believe he will be honorable and keep his mouth shut. I do too. I think he's going to be, I very much think he's going to be honorable. I think he's going to keep his mouth shut. I got no reason to think he's just going to, spew the stuff out there like that. But, here's the thing, though, too. I don't really think with a lot of the stuff that had been made classified, that it even should be classified. Because like I said, it's nothing that actually protects secrets. It doesn't protect people's lives. It does nothing more than cover somebody's butt. I don't think that's a valid reason to consider something classified. Not at all, All right. I had the question. I was kind of wondering, who's Humpty Dumpty? Well, Humpty Dumpty, I put that in there as a title because we're going to be talking about the wall later on. Everybody knows the nursery rhyme, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, after, because he sat on the wall. What I actually think is kind of interesting that Humpty Dumpty isn't actually an egg. The nursery rhyme is completely wrong, or at least people's portrayal of the nursery rhyme is completely wrong. It wasn't an egg. Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon, So, yeah, it was a cannon that fell off the wall. So, yeah, interesting stuff. Anyway, so yeah. Is he going to be something about, is he going to be bad for security? I don't really think so. Because the aspect of, he's not going to do that. He's got no reason to. He ain't going to put people's lives in danger. And he knows, I mean, guys, come on. All the stuff that happened during his, pre-election, the things that happened in 2016, the pre-election, even stuff that happened before he was even president, before he was even the nominee, whenever he was still a candidate, before the primaries. I mean, they've been trying to do this, and with President Trump's security clearance, he can get all this information. He can find a lot of that stuff out. That's why they're afraid of him. Not that they actually think that he's going to be a risk to national security, but because he's going to find out their dirty little secrets. And when you have wronged somebody as much as they have wronged the president, what does he have to lose? Why would he hold secrets that aren't really secrets? See, that's the thing too, because he can make a lot of this stuff, declassified. He can declassify a lot of this stuff. He's already declassified quite a bit of stuff. He's already done that. He's already gone there. So, yeah. All right, guys, we are going to take a quick break. And when I return, we're going to talk about that wall. We're going to talk about the immigration stuff. We're going to get into that. And, yeah, it'll be a good time. Just a couple minutes, guys, and I will be right back. Have you ever had an ailment that a normal over-the-counter remedy just couldn't fight? If this is the case, then boy, have I got the solution for you. Tussin. That's right, Tussin. Cough? Tussin. Cold? Tussin. Runny nose? Tussin. Itchy watery eyes? Tussin. Broken leg? Tussin. Tussin is the ultimate cure-all, guaranteed to stop anything that ails you. Tussin. Available wherever OTCs are sold. All right, welcome back. So, let's see here. We are getting into a little bit of the, the wall thing. So, let me pull up that story because I actually didn't get that far. I got to find it again. There it is. I found it. All right, so this headline from Newsweek, actually. Trump's border wall nearly 90% complete as the CBP races to finish before Biden takes office. Yes, 90% complete. According to the article, whenever, 2016, one of the campaign promises that the president made was that he was going to complete or finish 450 miles worth of border wall. And as of, I believe it was the end of October, or last week or something. But he's completed 402 miles as of November 16th. So like a week ago, a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, whatever. So yes, 90% of what the president promised he would complete by the end of 2020, he's pretty stinking close. And from what it sounds like, they've been completing roughly 10 miles a week. Pretty stable on that. So I'm like, cool. Slacker, what are you talking about? That's not slack. 10 miles a week, that's actually pretty stinking good. And you're right, I think he can make it too. I think he can definitely make that, that 10 miles, finishing it up, getting the rest of the 48 miles. Yeah, I had to look and I had to math in order to figure out that one. That was great. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. He said slacker on not having the story looked up. It was there. I mean, I just hadn't pulled it up yet. And of course, the question is, what's going to happen to the wall if President Biden, or I guess I should say when he takes office? What's going to happen? Okay. Is he going to, spend the money, remove the wall? Is he going to get rid of some of the measures that's been put in place, with the drones, with the various people he has in Customs and Border Patrol? That's the question. And right now, I mean, there's not really a lot of talk from the Biden campaign, of what he's going to actually do. There's not a whole lot of talk. We do know that they're talking about DACA. They're talking about, amnesty. And these are all things that we do know. But as far as the fate of the wall, we have no idea. I'm actually kind of curious. But I heard another story that was like, yeah, no talk from the Biden campaign. I can't imagine that. I know, right? But I seen this other story from the AP. And this one, you guys know how I feel about immigration. All right, legal immigration, awesome. I love it. I don't care the nationality, if you will, of the people whom are here, the people whom want to consider, the people that want to live in this country. What I care about is how many of them are American. Legal immigration, we have a process. Legal immigration. We should honor that process. And if Congress is so unhappy with the process itself, well, they're the ones that are actually in control of it. So you would think that if they think that it's bad, it's outdated, it needs to be updated, they need to lax it, whatever the case may be. I mean, they have all the power. Instead of talking about it, why don't they actually make some laws like what they're supposed to do and fix the problem? Instead, they're doing stuff like this. From the AP, the Associated Press, High Court takes up census case as other count issues loom. Now, I'm sure you guys heard about, whenever they were doing the census, the count and everything, that the president and, Republicans in general had issues with the, with the illegals being counted as part of the census. Okay. And the census, whatever them people were, they were like, okay, well, the whole point of the census is to count who is here, not necessarily who is legally here. But it's like, wait a second, you guys count a lot of different things anyway. You guys count based off of race, based off of sex, based off of all kinds of things. And what, you're going to say that you can't count based off of whether you are a legal citizen or not? I understand the argument, because there are some aspects that's like, okay, yeah, we need to know, and it's based off of who's here, not necessarily who's legal. Because, let's face it, if we have a bunch of people that are going to go into the school system, it would be nice to know how much resources they need. Not that I agree with them going into the school system per se. Illegals, not at all. But you need to know how many of them there are. So what this article was talking about is a case that is looking to go to the Supreme Court as far as redistricting and looking at, how many seats a particular area is going to get with representation in Washington. That's what they were talking about on this court case. Has it been heard yet? No. Is it on its way? Absolutely. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that the redistricting should be done with illegal illegal aliens? Do you think so? I personally do not. Because if they're not, yes, we have a constitution. Like it or not, the Constitution, the rights, the privileges of being an American is not a blanket thing to a resident. It's only valid, its only use is with a legal resident, a legal citizen, not just a resident. Doesn't matter. There is a distinction, and the distinction is important, And Howard puts a good point in here. He says, no, if they do not want to do it the proper way, then they don't deserve it. And absolutely, they don't deserve it. Because the fact of the matter is, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, is that the people whom are the biggest, talking out against amnesty and illegal aliens are people whom did it the right way. People that actually took the time, spent the money to actually become a legal citizen. Those are the ones whom feel cheated, as they should, So yeah, I can't wait to see, when this actually goes in and how they're going to, look at this case and what their decision is going to be on it. I will definitely keep you guys posted as to when it happens, as we get closer to it. But I'll definitely let you guys know. This way you can keep an ear out for it and stuff of that nature. All right, moving on. I've been talking about voter fraud, a lot of voter fraud going on. There's been some cases and whatnot. And here again is why I'm more or less like, yep, president-elect. Why? Because all of the things that the president has been trying to do in order to win, make the argument, make the fight, has pretty much failed. Michigan got thrown out in courts. I believe Wisconsin got thrown out in courts. And most recently, Pennsylvania got thrown out in courts. They're not even willing to investigate it. And this is the infuriating part. Okay. Again, we're talking about a double standard. Okay. Again, we're talking about the same type of thing with, like with Biden getting the investigator, getting the prosecutor fired in Ukraine because he had the gall to investigate his son's company, bragged about it, but that wasn't quid pro quo. That wasn't anything illegal, nothing to see here. He admitted to it. He bragged about it. They investigate the president over a perfectly fine phone call. Nothing to see here. And hold on. Hello, Linda, over there in Spreaker land. Good to see you. She says, hello, just got here. Awesome. Glad you're here. But they're not even wanting to investigate this. The same as they refuse to investigate anything about Biden, just wanting to say that there's nothing to see here. That's what they're doing with these voter fraud cases. They're claiming that the allegations are fake. Nothing to see here is not true, nothing at all. But here's the thing. Here's what they're refusing to do, okay? When they were going through the validation process, they wasn't allowing people on the Republican side to validate any of the ballots, to be present in the room even. That's what they were not allowing to happen. The only time when you can actually validate the ballot is at the point where it is taken out of the security envelope. Whenever that, after that happens, how can you actually match up a ballot with a legal voter? But they didn't want to do that. Okay. Now in regards with the voting machines, we've all heard some bad things with these voting machines. We've all heard these bad things with the voting machines. Okay. One of the reasons why Texas would not allow these machines in and use them at all was because one of the features that the machines themselves had. Let's say you didn't vote in a particular category. Okay. These machines had the ability to make a vote for you, cast its own vote. Now, according to, the people in Texas, that these machines didn't have the ability to do it due to software. It had the hardware ability to actually do it. Why? Why would you actually have a machine with the capability of printing its own answers in there? It's supposed to look at what was done, not make up its own answers for you. Okay, these machines shouldn't have even had that as an ability, had that as an option. Are they voting machines to count, or are they voting machines to cast its own vote based off of programming? That's why Texas didn't want anything to do with them, and they shouldn't have. But here's the thing, too. Everything that happens within a computer is logged, some way, shape, or form. And even for the most part, when you're talking, the logs, as far as what a machine is doing, there's going to be gaps if things was removed, ways to track it, ways to track a gap, ways to track activity. It's very, very hard to do something in these machines completely unnoticed whenever you're looking at something at the code of it. Very, very hard to do. Go unnoticed, okay? So one of the ways that they check these things out is they look at the key logs. They look at just the different logs in general, what the machine is doing in the process of counting. Well, here's the thing. They're going to claim that there was no fraud. But one of the things that they're also not doing is checking and investigating to see whether there was fraud. All they're saying is there's nothing to see here, but yet they're not going in and actually running checks, diagnostic checks, any kind of checks on these machines to actually see if there was any fraud. All they're doing is going, nothing to see here, go away, covering their face, covering their eyes, because they don't want it to be investigated. That's what they're doing. Here you want to say that he is the clear winner of the election, but yet they're unwilling to actually prove that he's the clear winner. That's why people are getting ticked off about this. We're expected to believe, we're expected to take somebody's word for it whenever we know they're lying. Because they've lied about everything. Why should he be telling the truth now? It's a politician. Of course they're lying. Anyway. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. I covered that one. Covered that one. Yep, covered that one. Cover that one? Yeah, I covered that one. What's this one? What's this one? Oh, yeah, I covered that one too. All right, we are going to take another break. And when I return... Huh? What you talking about, Willis? He put in here, I am almost there as well. Almost where? What you talking about, Willis? I'm assuming there's another one coming. Oh. Okay, so yeah, the Howard's wife said that she is done voting with the way that this election has gone. And you know what? I understand the sentiment. I really do. I very much understand that. You know. Oh, well, I didn't see any link or anything in there for it, Linda. I apologize. I'm going to check that out whenever I go to break. Your video, I did not see that. I mean, I knew something was coming. I just didn't know where. I didn't know where it was going. But all right, guys, we are going to take a quick break. And when I return, we are going to talk more about some stuff that I got in here. And if you guys are curious on the articles that I am using on the show, you guys can head on over to thehohoshow.com. Just click on the mentioned you on Twitter. Oh, okay. Just go to the www.com. Click on the newsfeed tab, and there you will see my thing on flip. You know what? Yeah, never mind. That was horrible. That was redonkulous. All right, guys, couple minutes. I'll be right back. Have you ever been so full of it your eyes are brown? Have you ever sat on the toilet but nothing comes out? Is a box of frosted shredded wheat just not doing the trick? Well, have I got the ultimate solution for you. Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse. See, Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse is that particular product that will break through the sphincter like the Kool-Aid Man through a brick wall. Oh yeah! No more irregularity, no more cramping, just good old nice flow. That's right. Tide Pod Brand Colon Cleanse. Please use responsibly and use at home. This is a fast-acting product now available in Tropical Punch. Welcome back. All right, so yeah, I got sidetracked. trying to figure out the delay. And it's like, it's bigger than what I thought it was. It's the only time I've been able to say that. Anyway. All right. So the first thing we are going to talk about. Yeah, that was funny. Talking about equality, actually. I seen this article from the Associated Press. The headline is, Biden plans swift moves to protect and advance the LGBTQRSTMLM, their rights. I have issues with this. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? In our nation, we're supposed to have equality. We're supposed to have equal rights under the law, equal justice under the law. We're supposed to have equal protection under the law. We're supposed to have all these things. But whenever you put one group ahead of another one, all you do is create strife. One way, shape, or form, that's all you do. You create strife. Sometimes you're creating strife just to have strife. What ends up happening, okay? And I don't agree with that, because I'm not going to put anybody's life ahead of somebody else's life in a murder one charge, okay? If you kill somebody, premeditated murder, then there is a charge that goes along with that. Just because the person is of one color, and you know, there isn't equality going back and forth. You know, if a white person kills a black guy, that's extra bad. If a black person kills a white guy, that's kind of ignored. They don't even care about that. But, you know, whatever, that's neither here nor there. But what it does do is create strife. Whenever you throw extra charges on something just because they are in protected class status, why? Discrimination is already wrong. Why do you have to include things to make it more bad when it's already bad? I just don't get it. You're creating strife just for the sake of having strife. I've never understood that. Never understood it at all. You know, there was what was this in reference to the women's thing? You know, there was a thing, you know, for, you know, Violence Against Women's Act, I think is what it was. Same type of thing. You know, yes, violence against women is bad. Violence against anybody is bad. Why do you got to have an extra layer, an extra law in there, an extra charge just to make somebody feel better? Just for votes, the sake of getting votes. That's all they're doing. You know, they're just making a political move, making it harder. I don't get it. You know, why? What's the point? I mean, really, what's the point? Is it for votes? But just to have one more law on the books to make you feel better, to make it feel like you've done something? I mean, is that really what it amounts to? Because that's kind of what it seems like it amounts to me. You know, you have people in there that are just making laws for the sake of making laws. And in the meantime, they're creating strife. They're putting barriers against us as people, as citizens of the United States. That's pretty much what they're doing. Now, guys, I want to be clear on something. Just because I seem as though I need to do this every single time for whatever reason, you know, I'm not even repeating that. I ain't repeating that at all. You can't make me. And if you want to see what he said, then head on over to Facebook's, and then, you know, you can see what he said. I'm not repeating that. But I feel it necessary to place in here that no, I don't think that it is a crime. If it's already a crime, then it's already a crime. Don't make it a double crime just because, you know, I know you're being I know. I know you were putting that comment in there because it's freaking hilarious to see the reaction I'd have on my face. Yeah, I get it. But a crime is already a crime. You know, there's no point to make it a double crime just because, you know, protected class status deems it, makes you think that it's necessary to do so. I don't agree with it. That's not equal protection under the law. And to be quite honest with you, equal protection, equal rights, equal accountability, equal justice. These are constitutional principles. Doesn't having these laws that extend beyond the law, isn't that kind of unconstitutional in the first place? I can very much see how that interpretation could be made. I pretty well agree with it. Really, dude? Get off my screen. Thank you. All right, moving on. This story is from CNN. Oh yeah, I gotta do something. Hold on. Okay, it's off. Good. I did that. All right. This headline is the story I had to share after Kyle Rittenhouse posted his $2 million bail. That's a lot of money. So y'all know the story. You know, he went to Kenosha to help out a friend of the family. Shot and killed 2 people, injuring a third out of self-defense. And the person who wrote this article on CNN, I'm not going to mention his name, but it was an article that was released or at least updated today. He shared a story about something that I had to laugh at. I mean, I really did. Okay, because he tried to equate what happened to him with what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. Not exactly with the a double standard is what he was talking about. A double standard that happened, because of the races. Again, just separating people by race for no reason whatsoever. Now, let's get a few facts straight. The simple facts about what this guy was talking about. He went into a store. Whenever he left, the alarm went off because of a package of AA batteries that he had in his backpack that he purchased earlier and didn't have any receipt for. And then instead of calling the cops, the store owner was like, okay, look, you can't come in here again. No soup for you. And she gave him a piece of paper that basically had on it, no longer come here again because you stole something and you can't produce, or at least you have an item with a security tag on it that made my alarm go off and you can't produce a receipt for it. So you're not allowed to come back. She didn't call the cops. Okay? The person did not call the cops whatsoever. All right? Gone. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself on video. Multiple angles. No dispute as far as the actions that took place immediately before the shooting and even immediately after the shooting. These are things that are not on debate whatsoever. The actions. I'm not talking mentality. I'm not talking his reason, but the facts of the matter is what happened in full view of a camera, multiple angles, no dispute. No argument there. Okay, y'all's picking up what I'm throwing down? Okay. This guy, Howard put in here and goes, that was nice of her. Absolutely, I thought the same thing. But it's like, okay, look. You're talking somebody who was on full view of multiple cameras doing something, defending himself, and obviously there's not much of an argument there. Versus this guy who walked out with a package of batteries that had a security tag that was still active on it. And he says, oh, I purchased this days ago. I unfortunately don't have the receipt on me anymore. Now, look, guys, how many of you have ever worked in retail? Show of hands. Okay, now, how many of you have ever done anything like that as far as catching somebody, who walked out, set off a security alarm? Okay, how many of you heard that same type of a BS story? Oh, I purchased this earlier. No, I don't have the receipt on me, but the security tag is still on there. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. It's an age-old excuse, okay? What I'm saying is it's kind of like, having the chocolate cake on your face. And then, did you eat any chocolate cake? You also have had kids that have lied their butt off. I mean, it's just, why did they not get away with it? I've said the same lie. The same lie. I've said the same lie. You're talking somebody who can't actually defend himself, set off the alarm going out. It does not mention, and of course the accused was the person writing the story. So regardless, doesn't say that the alarm went off whenever he was walking into the store, the business, the establishment, but he set the alarm off leaving the store. I find that kind of funny, but yet he wants to claim his innocence. Okay. This is an aspect of I've never understood why people, Linda puts in here something, a very good pointer. If I have to be in a store with an unopened anything, I have the receipt with me. Exactly. And here's the thing too, man. I've worked in these different businesses. One, if you're walking in, setting the alarm off, okay, because most places, it doesn't matter. You walk into the store, you're walking through some type of security something. Okay, it's going to go off. If it's going to go off on you leaving because of something that you had on you when you got there, then it's going to go off whenever you get there too. Most places you go to, that's how it is. You cross that little security thing coming and going. They got you both ways. Anyway, that's just kind of how it is. I don't know if the thing went off whenever he walked in, but I mean, if it went off when he walked in, then the owner, the person that was there, wouldn't have made a stink if it went off on him on the way out. You picking up what I'm throwing down? You catching what I'm saying? But yeah, I completely agree with you. If I have an unopened something, I'm going to have a receipt with me. That's just, why wouldn't you? Like I said, it's a lie that is told all the time. Of course the person didn't believe him. Why would you? And I mean, just out of sheer habit, most of the time whenever we ring something out, it's like right there by the security thing anyway. It's going to go off. Just saying, throwing that out there. Now, I know that there are things you can do to reactivate them things, like throw them in a dryer. That kind of remagnetizes them things, but there's no, never mind. Yeah. The double standard. He's trying to claim, now again, this is one of them things that I've talked about in the past, several times, different instances of it, If this thing is so predominant, so pronounced, then why do you need to make up something like this to try to compare it to that, like it's relevant and like it's the same thing? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. All right, moving on. Actually, you know what? That might be the end of it. Oh, hold on a second. That is my last one. Yep, that is the last one. All right, guys. That's all I got for y'all this evening. And since I was an idiot and played the wrong video on the, during the last break, I'll go ahead and I'll play it this time. Yeah, did you guys notice I totally screwed that one up over there, guy? I did. I clicked the wrong button. I played the wrong video. It was an oops moment for me. I hate it whenever that happens. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all have yourself a wonderful evening. Good night. Sleep tight. And if the bed bugs bite, well, by golly, I can't do this yet. Crap. Okay, let's try this again. You know what? Never mind. Y'all have yourself a good one. This has been The Ho-Ho Show. For more information, you can head to thehohoshow.com. And for the merchandise store, you can head on over to stinkpickle.com. That is stinkpickle.com. Until next time.